And welcome to a new episode of Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. Alright folks, we're still celebrating the 20th anniversary release of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. As I did earlier this year, I also did a review of an earlier VHS release of the animated Lord of the Rings. But here we got The Hobbit. If I'm not mistaken, The Hobbit came out almost roughly the same time as 1977. As Ralph Bakski's Lord of the Rings. This is two completely separate productions that did this. You can even look at the animated style. Of the Hobbit's likenesses are very different. If I'm not mistaken, Ralph Bakski had some type of agreement and everything to try to keep this movie from coming out roughly the same time, but it got released, I think, over in Canada first, and then eventually came out in theatrical format. It was done and produced and directed by Arthur Rankin and Jules Bass. Another great talents of animation back in the 70s, like Ralph Bakski. I can remember this coming on TV a lot as a kid. I really didn't understand too much of it because I wasn't familiar with Tolkien's work by the early 80s. But the company did make, because Lord of the Rings, the animated movie, came out, did okay, but Ralph Bakski, I guess the studio felt that it didn't make as much money, and so they didn't continue on with Return of the King for themselves. This production company, at the same time, were making more, so they decided to go ahead, do Return of the King, and Bass and company, made Return of the King and brought it out shortly after on television with after the release of Lord of the Rings, the animated movie. But anyway, enough of all that historical jargon, bargain. But let's get into the review of this tape. It's one of the originals. It's, I want to say, not the original, but I want to say it's about a 91 release. Yeah, it's a 1991 release. As you can still see, done with Warner Home Video, the old traditional style graphics and stuff with the old Warner Brother crest and the home video. And of course, the classification of what it is. You can see that. Family classic. And if you look real closely, you can see Bilbo. Wrong movie. And of course, you can see the trolls. A family, all animated, all fun from J.R.R. Tolkien's beloved adventure. Of course, Peter Jackson did go on to, let me see, there's Bilbo again. I actually had the big vinyl storytelling record, but and I even had the little C-Read heater book too as well. But as a anniversary / wedding gift and everything, I gave it to two very close friends, very close friend of my wife's, that they were big Middle Earth fans. So I'm just gonna give a shout out to Alex. So, and it's been quite a few years now since they've been married, and I hope they still have it and cherish it. But, okay, this one right here actually is a copy for my son. My son's become a Lord of the Rings fan, so, found it pretty easily at a thrift store. But, we'll go ahead, take a real close look at the poster, which is not really like this much anymore, because now, if you had gotten it later on in the late 90s, to early 2000s, they were in the big giant clamshell, Disney style clamshells that Warner Brothers was releasing all the family friendly films. You see there's Gandalf again, Bilbo, and the dwarfs that were part of that journey to reclaim their gold. But again, I don't remember much of it. As I said, I was saying before I veered off, Jackson made the Hobbit trilogy, even though he was always going to be a part of it. It was a lot of legal ramifications between MGM and, of course, with New Line, which is under the Warner Brothers banner. But MGM, which still owns, which is now owned by Amazon. Amazon just bought it recently, but Warner Brothers had also purchased back in the late 90s, 99, I believe, when they merged with Turner, and when Turner bought a bunch of MGM movies in the mid-80s. If anybody can understand this, I hope I'm explaining it well, but it's all kind of wrapped up in legal ramifications, but they may be able to make it. Del Toro, who was responsible for the first 2 Hellboy movies, and Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, and 67,000 other projects that he's been supposed to be doing. Was supposed to do the Hobbit trilogy, but he had to back out due to scheduling conflicts and stuff. So Jackson jumped in at the last moment, did it. He even apologized for not being as good as Lord of the Rings. You ain't going to get that from any other director these days. If it's not fan beloved, then the fans are the ones that wrong. That's another story for another time. Okay, folks, but let's go ahead and take off the sleeve cover. You got that the traditional Warner Brothers sticker. Yeah, the FBI warnings and all that jargon. 76 minutes wasn't that long when it comes to a feature length. Sometimes a feature length is usually 90, but not as long as 2 hours long as the animated Lord of the Rings was. I think that they could have done that in 3 movies. Still, but man, I was just an infant at that age in the 1970s, late 1970s. So, all right, well, folks, you see up there on top, all the same font. It's a nice little poster. I actually like it. But anyway, do you remember the animated version of The Hobbit or the animated version of Lord of the Rings? Let me know in the comment section down below. If I happen to find Return of the King on VHS, which it is kind of hard. It's all on DVD, or all DVD and Blu-ray as a package, all 3 films. They're all owned by Warner Brothers Home Media now, so, let me know. What's your memory? What's your favorite memory of this? Have you seen this film? And, again, 20 years. It's hard to believe that Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy is 20 years old. Story never gets old. I know that there's going to be an Amazon television show, and apparently it's going to be the most expensive show ever made, so it better be good. That's all I can say. I don't want to see a Sopranos slash Game of Thrones slash Spartacus, over adult theme. These were never meant to be adult themed films. They were also, The Hobbit was a children's story, and Lord of the Rings was more of a sophisticated children's story. And so I hope they kind of keep that motif a bit. Just, because Tolkien was just a genius when it comes to writing. All right, folks, enough of my preaching. All right, folks, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Really, this has been a great year for the channel, and I want to keep it going and everything. So, I got one more video here on physical media format. One more video. It will be a season finale. I'll probably come on a week after this video, if not a week after. So, and I might do a holiday special, too, for physical media format for this season, too. I don't know. Anyway, folks, hit the thumbs up. Share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and down in the comment section below, let me know your fondest memories of The Hobbit or any of the Lord of the Rings. All right, it's been Physical Media Format here on the Movie Dawgs channel. Thanks for watching, and please keep on watching. Bye.